Bookish friends, welcome to another Bookish talk. Today I want to talk about a question that has been asked to me many times. When my friends find out about the amount of books that I read in a year, how I can manage to read so many books and also work in a full-time job. There's a tag which is created by Working Man Reads, which asks questions about this subject matter. Then I will briefly describe my days and how I managed to fit so much reading in my life. How do you find time to read book tag, as I said before, was originated by Working Man Reads, I think at the beginning of this year. And there are 6 questions regarding to this tag. Question 1. Where is your favorite place to read? I can read almost anywhere. But my favorite place is the comfy TV chair in my bedroom. Question 2. Do you read every day? Yes, I do. That is how I can read so much, and I will elaborate the answer to this question in the second part of the video. Question 3. Do you read out loud to any family members? I'm not a big fan of reading out loud actually. But I used to read out loud to my older nephew when he was little, and he did not know how to read. Now I rarely read out loud to my little nephew, but that will not be for a very long time because he will learn to read next year. Question 4. Your favorite career for a main character to have? Give an example of a book that has that job in it. I think I like the teachers most in the books, and especially teachers dealing with smaller kids. As for an example, I can say One Calls the Heart by Janette. I loved the scenes in which Elizabeth taught the little children in the north, and I find such scenes, especially with smaller kids, very adorable. Question 5. Do you read at work, audiobook or other? I sometimes do read e-books or physical books if I had that physical book in my purse. But lately it has been incredibly busy, so I have not read a single page in the last month when I'm working. But as I will explain in detail, I do most of my reading during my commute from home to work and back to home from work. Question 6. Tell me what book you are going to read today, and also tag someone to do the tag. Because I'm pre-recording this, right now I'm reading the last novel or novella. It really depends on what you think about the length of a novella in this collection, which is The Mystery of Hansom by Fergus. I started reading this work last night, and I'm really enjoying it, and I cannot wait to read more from this wonderful mystery. Since I talked about teachers, I will tag 3 of my teacher friends, Courtney Ferriter, Cynthia at Book Whimsy, and Jeremy at Jeremy Fee, if they had not done this tag, of course. But if you also work full-time, I'm also tagging you. And in the second part of the video, as I mentioned before, I will talk about how I fit reading in my life. I work in state in the Disaster Management Institute in my city. I work as an architect and I work full-time. And after the big earthquake in Izmir in October of last year, I have been working almost non-stop for a very long time, and I actually had a very little vacation time because we have so many things to do in terms of reconstruction and in terms of risk planning as well. During this time I have read many books, and my reading has not been diminished because of the increased workload. Because as I mentioned in one of the questions, I do not read much at work. I actually start reading by listening to audiobooks while walking to the metro stop. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes every morning. I start my day with an audiobook. Commute in metro train takes about 40 minutes. And during this time, I mostly read ebooks or physical books if I'm currently in the middle of a physical book that I can carry. Of course, not this physical book, but a physical book that I can carry. And then I take another bus, which takes about 15 to 20 minutes every day to get to the office. And most of the time, I can sit in the bus and continue my reading. So I read about an hour every morning before coming to work. And after work, my steps to arrive at home is reversed. First, I take a 15 to 20 minutes bus ride to the metro station, in which I read ebooks or audiobooks, and 40 minutes commute with metro train, in which I read ebooks or physical books, and then walking back to my home, which takes about 15 to 20 minutes every evening. And this routine takes place in 5 days of the week. I do read quite a lot in the weekdays as well. At nights, I used to watch TV series or movies. But nowadays I hardly watch any TV series or movies. I continue to read. I read a total of an hour at nights as well. And I also do listen to audiobooks while doing some housework. And in the weekends, I read about 2 hours a day, physical or ebooks, and sometimes take walks, 45 to 1 hour long walks, in which I listen to the audiobook. So in summary, I can say that I spent almost all of my free time reading or listening to books. Of course, the fact that I'm single and do not have any children helps me to increase reading books in my free time. But it was the same about 5 years ago, and I read significantly less because I used to spend most of my time in social media, chatting with friends, and also watching a lot of TV series. Since I rediscovered my passion for reading about 5 years ago, I prioritized my reading over other hobbies. I have to admit, at first it was not easy to give up, especially on social media. But as I've spent more and more time reading, I found out that I wanted to read even more and be lost and absorbed in other stories as well. It was not a quick transformation. It was actually a transformation in steps. I never thought that audiobooks would be such a big part of my life, because I listened to 3 or 4 audiobooks per year. And now it is the same number per month. It was actually a work in progress to prioritize my reading. For the last words, I want to say, please do not feel obligated to read more if you do not feel like it. My own journey towards increasing my reading life did not start by comparing myself to other booktubers that I watched at that time, because I was not a booktuber at that time, but actually started with wanting to read more. And I think that is the key issue here. If you feel like you have to do something but do not feel like it, maybe you might be successful in a short period of time, but in the long run, I think you will get a reading slump, and that will diminish your reading time even more. I think the most important thing is that don't do something that you do not feel like. Even if you read 1 book a year, you are a reader and you are doing excellent. So this was my bit rambly bookish talk discussion video about in my busy working life. Please comment down below. Where do you read the most in your daily life? And if you're a new viewer, first of all, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye. As for Turkish word of the day, I'm going to choose busy. Busy means meşgul in Turkish, and meşgul is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day.